It happened during an interview that was supposed to be ordinary. Can Yaman, known for his confident posture and measured answers, sat across from a journalist who had followed his career for years. The lights were bright, the cameras rolling, and the atmosphere seemed calm until her name came up. When the interviewer mentioned Demet Özdemir, everything changed. At first, Can tried to smile. He adjusted his jacket, took a slow breath, and gave a small laugh. But his eyes, those usually steady, unreadable eyes, began to shift, softening as he said quietly, "Demet changed me forever." The words came out almost like a confession, unplanned, from somewhere deep. For a few seconds, silence filled the room. Even the interviewer looked stunned. The video clip spread across social media within minutes. Fans from Turkey to Italy, Spain to Brazil, flooded the internet with disbelief. Did he really say that? After all these years? What does he mean by changed? The hashtag Demet changed him hit global trends. It wasn't just another celebrity moment, it was raw, real emotion from someone who had always kept his heart guarded. People who had followed their story from the beginning remembered everything, the chemistry on screen, the rumored tension off it, the emotional interviews that followed their separation. Yet never before had Can spoken with such vulnerability. In that brief moment, the walls he had built around himself seemed to collapse. According to crew members who were on set that day, the mood changed completely after that line. Can reportedly paused the interview for several minutes. One insider revealed that he wiped his eyes and whispered, "I didn't plan to say that, it just came out." For a man who prided himself on control, it was a rare moment of surrender. Entertainment sites called it the confession of the year. Critics who had often accused him of being distant or arrogant began to see a different side, one that was human, emotional, and deeply affected by a connection that clearly never faded. Meanwhile, Demet remained silent, at least for now. Her name trended without her even saying a word. Fans began revisiting old interviews, searching for clues. One moment, in particular, resurfaced, when Demet had once said, "Sometimes people leave, but they never really go away." That quote now echoed in every comment section under Can's new video. By nightfall, millions had seen the clip. The phrase, "Demet changed me forever," became more than words, it became a story in itself. And while the world speculated, only two people knew the truth behind those tears. The world couldn't stop talking. Within hours of Can Yaman's emotional confession, the internet turned into a storm. His single sentence, "Demet changed me forever," became the most discussed moment in Turkish entertainment. Hashtags like hashtag Can Yaman tears, hashtag Demet changed him, and hashtag Total Shock interview flooded social media timelines. Every fan page, gossip account, and entertainment blog was on fire. Clips of the moment were edited and re-uploaded thousands of times, some in slow motion, others with emotional music layered behind his trembling voice. Fans began to analyze his expression frame by frame, zooming in on his eyes, on the exact second his voice cracked. One fan tweeted, "That wasn't acting, that was love trying not to break down." Another wrote, "We always knew she left a mark on him. Now he said it himself." Major news channels replayed the interview during their evening shows. Psychologists were invited on talk shows to interpret his emotional breakdown, describing his body language as that of a man still processing unfinished feelings. Even international tabloids began picking up the story, translating his quote into multiple languages. "Demet me ha cambiado por sempre, Demet me change por toujours, Demet me cambio para siempre." Meanwhile, Demet Özdemir's silence became deafening. Her fans waited for a sign, a post, a story, a like, anything. But her social media accounts remained untouched. She didn't share promotional content, didn't interact with anyone, and her team refused to comment on Can's confession. Insiders claimed she had seen the interview privately and was deeply moved but unsure how to respond. One close friend allegedly said, "Demet watched it 3 times. She said, he wasn't acting, that was real." Behind the scenes, Can's team was overwhelmed. They hadn't expected the interview to go viral on this scale. According to production insiders, Can was emotional even after filming ended. He sat quietly in his dressing room for nearly an hour, ignoring his phone, lost in thought. Someone who saw him said, he looked relieved, like he had finally said something that had been eating him alive for years. The following morning, he was spotted leaving his apartment early, wearing sunglasses and avoiding reporters. Yet, even with his silence, his actions spoke volumes. The actor, usually so composed, had shown the world his most vulnerable side, and it made people love him more. By nightfall, YouTube compilations titled Can Yaman's Confession, Full Emotional Breakdown had millions of views. Reaction videos poured in from fans across the world, some crying, others simply whispering, he still loves her. But no one could have imagined what would happen next, because less than 48 hours later, a subtle move from Demet Özdemir would shake the internet all over again. 48 hours after the world watched Can Yaman's emotional breakdown, all eyes were on one person, Demet Özdemir. The silence surrounding her had become louder than any statement she could have made. Fans refreshed her Instagram profile endlessly, waiting for something, anything. And then, without warning, it happened. Late in the evening, Demet shared a story, no selfie, no text, no direct reference to Can. It was a simple black screen with a single line written in white letters, "Some people leave, but their energy stays forever." Nothing else. No emojis, no music. Just that sentence. Within minutes, the internet erupted. Her story spread across every platform like wildfire. Is she talking about Can? People asked. This can't be a coincidence. The phrase "their energy stays forever" began trending globally on X, formerly Twitter. Thousands of users reposted the story with emotional captions like "She finally said it," and "She feels it too." Journalists quickly picked up on the subtle but powerful message. The timing was too perfect. Just 2 days earlier, Can had confessed through tears that Demet had changed him forever, and now, she posted a message about someone's energy never leaving. To the public, the connection was undeniable. Fan pages began pairing screenshots of the two moments, Can's tearful face mid-interview, next to Demet's story in minimalist white text. Together, they looked like pieces of a love letter written from different worlds but speaking the same language. Comment sections filled with emotional reactions. "It's not over. You can't fake a bond like this." "They're still connected." Even celebrities joined in the silent chaos. A well-known Turkish singer reposted Demet's story with the caption, "Some love stories don't need a sequel, they just keep playing in your soul." That single gesture reignited speculation across the industry. Behind closed doors, Demet's team was reportedly caught off guard. One insider revealed that the post hadn't been scheduled, it was spontaneous. "She was quiet all day," the source said, "and then suddenly, she just wrote it and posted it. No one could stop her." Meanwhile, Can stayed completely offline. He didn't post anything, didn't attend any public events, and ignored all press calls. But fans noticed something small. He had started following a Turkish photographer known for his emotional black and white portraits, one who had recently shared a post captioned, "The hardest battles are the ones you fight with your heart." The symbolism was impossible to ignore. Overnight, YouTube and TikTok exploded with theories. Edits showing Can's interview side by side with Demet's story went viral. Emotional music, slow fades, captions like "He spoke. She answered" filled every feed. But no one was prepared for what would happen next, because just when fans thought the emotional back and forth had ended, a single photo taken in the streets of Rome would change everything. It was a quiet Sunday morning in Rome when the photo surfaced, one single image that would send shockwaves through the entire entertainment world. A fan who happened to be on vacation shared it on social media with the caption, "I think I just saw Can Yaman and Demet Özdemir." Attached was a slightly blurry yet unmistakable picture. There they were, Can and Demet, walking side by side through a narrow cobblestone street near Piazza Navona. No entourage, no cameras, no stylists. Just the two of them. Can was wearing a black cap and simple jeans, Demet had her hair tied up, wearing a beige coat and a quiet smile. But what truly drove the internet insane was the small detail people noticed immediately: their hands were almost touching. Not holding, just brushing, barely, but close enough to spark every rumor imaginable. Within minutes, the photo spread like wildfire. "Together again," screamed headlines from Istanbul to Madrid. Fans from all around the world began posting side-by-side comparisons, the way they walked, the way they leaned toward each other. Every detail became evidence in a love story that refused to fade. Italian media quickly picked up the story since Can was filming a new project in Rome at the time. Reporters rushed to the set, hoping to get confirmation. When one journalist asked a production member whether Demet had visited the location, the answer came with a knowing smile: "She was here for a personal reason." That single phrase was enough to light the fuse. Fans in Turkey went wild. "She flew to Rome for him," one user wrote. "After everything, she still chose to go where he is." Another commented, "They look at peace, like the chaos doesn't exist anymore." TikTok edits flooded timelines within hours, all set to soft Italian love songs. The hashtag Rome with Demet hit millions of views before the day ended. Meanwhile, entertainment channels replayed Can's earlier confession, "Demet changed me forever," right next to the new photo. It was as if fate itself had written the script. Some journalists even called it the reunion no one believed would happen. Behind the scenes, though, the story was even more surprising. According to someone close to Can, the meeting wasn't planned for the public eye. Demet had arrived quietly in Rome days earlier, supposedly to visit a friend, but insiders revealed that she and Can had spent several hours together in a private garden near the hotel he was staying at. It wasn't for publicity, the source said. It was personal. They needed to talk. When reporters caught up with Can outside his apartment 2 days later, asking about Demet, he smiled faintly and replied, "Some people are part of your story forever." That line alone reignited everything: hope, speculation, and pure emotion. The world had just witnessed the impossible, the reunion of two souls that destiny clearly refused to separate. But the story wasn't over yet. Because a week later, during an emotional TV appearance, Can would say something even more shocking, something that made the world stop breathing for a moment. A week after the now legendary Rome photo, Can Yaman appeared on a special live TV interview in Istanbul. The show had been scheduled long before, but no one expected what was about to happen. The host, clearly aware of the global frenzy, began with routine questions about his new project, yet everyone watching knew the real topic hanging in the air. And when the name Demet Özdemir finally came up, the entire studio fell silent. Can lowered his gaze for a moment, then looked straight into the camera. His voice was calm but heavy with emotion. "Sometimes," he began, "you meet someone who changes the rhythm of your life, not for a moment, but for good. Demet did that for me." The crowd in the studio gasped. The host tried to speak, but Can continued, his tone breaking slightly, "When I said she changed me forever, I meant it. Because after her, nothing feels the same. I learned what love, patience, and honesty truly mean." Viewers across the world froze. It wasn't just a confession, it was closure, gratitude, and love all wrapped together. On social media, the words "Demet did that for me" trended instantly. Clips of his trembling voice circulated within minutes. Fans from dozens of countries sent emotional messages: "He's finally at peace, this is real love, you can see it in his eyes." What no one expected, though, was Demet's reaction. She happened to be on another live show that very night, a charity broadcast. While answering questions unrelated to Can, one of the presenters gently mentioned his emotional interview that was airing at the same time. For a second, she froze. Then, with a faint, wistful smile, she said quietly, "If he found peace, then I'm happy." Her eyes shimmered under the studio lights, and she looked away for a moment before regaining her composure. That short response, 8 words, broke the internet all over again. Overnight, the clips of both interviews were merged together by fans. Can's voice saying "Demet did that for me" played side by side with her whisper, "If he found peace, then I'm happy." It was poetic, cinematic, like the ending of a film that everyone had been watching for years. The video, titled "The Confession That Shocked the World," hit millions of views in less than 12 hours. In the days that followed, something shifted. The media, usually ruthless, grew softer. Commentators began referring to them not as a scandal, but as a story of growth, loss, and deep respect. Even critics admitted that what Can and Demet had shown wasn't ordinary celebrity drama, it was real emotion. A week later, Demet posted a serene black and white photo of the sea, the same one she had shared months ago, but this time, she added a caption that made everyone smile through tears: "Some stories don't end. They just change form." Fans around the world understood immediately. Whatever they were now, friends, ex-lovers, twin souls, it no longer mattered. What mattered was the bond that time, fame, and distance had failed to erase. And as one fan perfectly commented under her post, maybe love doesn't always mean being together. Sometimes, it's simply knowing that you changed each other forever. The end. Broken Heart Sparkles.